Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video we are going to talk about part 3 of reading documents, that is performing CRUD operations with Node.js and MongoDB. In this particular video we are going to talk about a couple of methods. One is find one method. This method you could technically use to get one I would say document from the collection. It actually returns the first one, like the order is actually defined by MongoDB, so we don't have a control on that. But if you want all the records, you don't want one, you could actually use the find method, which would return you in the form of an array, because there could be more than one records or one document within a collection. So without wasting much time, let's dive into the practical stuff and see how we could use these two methods within MongoDB. So friends, we'll just continue with the same as within the previous videos. We have the same file. We used the first method to connect, the second method to insert record, and then third method to insert multiple records. Now what we'll do is we'll just copy those this function, because we are going to use some of the functionality as it is. So we'll copy that, and then we'll actually create another one, which is our fourth function. So we'll use that, and then we'll say find. We are gonna find one record or one collection. So we'll say one document within the collection. So that's what this function is gonna do. So find one, I'll say document, and this is the URL which we'll just pass to connect onto that. Connected to this, so we don't need this new DPTs, because we are not going to create new one, rather we are just going to find one of the records from there. So in order to use that, we have a find one method where you'll pass on an empty object out here, and then it actually returns you a callback function, which is this one. So if there is an error, we are going to throw an error out there, and if there is nothing, like if there is no error, we are actually going to show the results. So let's say we'll show the result, and then we'll just pass on the result out here. So I'm just gonna delete this and finally close it. Now I'll copy this one, and we'll just call it out here, find one document. And in order to run this, let's open up a terminal window. And once we open up a terminal window, let's say we'll just use, I'll just move on to the folder. Okay, I'm in the same folder, so we'll just use node.js with mongo.js. So that's my file name. And if I press enter, so it says yes, connected to the MongoDB instance, and then it gives me a result, which is technically one object, and it has an underscore ID, which is the ID generated by MongoDB as a unique ID for that. We had a department number 100, and department name is marketing. So that's how it actually picks up one of the records, the first available record from MongoDB as per the storage of the MongoDB, right? So that's how you could use it. But let's say we want to use another one, so we'll just copy this function again, and we want to use, for example, find all. So let's say create another method, which is a fifth one. So we'll, rather than using this one, so we'll say find, and we'll just close this also, because we have already done find, or just say return all the documents from the collection. So that's what we are gonna do, return all documents. That's the URL. It looks fine. So here, what I'm gonna use here is, I'm actually gonna use the find method. So the find method technically returns me an array, because it is an array, and then I can use that callback function over here the same way as it is done. So if there is an error, that goes around, otherwise I just want to display. So it means I'm not saying that we are gonna get only the first available document, but rather all the documents within that. So if I go back to the compass, so if you see, this was the record which was given out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 104 is the last one. That's what I have, those records. So I'll just copy this one, copy it around and paste it over here. I'll just need this name. Copy, return all the documents. That looks fine. And if I run this now, I'll just zoom in, and if I just run this, so it says toArray is not a function. Okay, which oops, because I didn't change that. So find looks okay, and now I'll try to run it one more time, and yes. So if you could see, this technically returns me an array because I'm actually putting it into toArray. So all the IDs which are there, they are the MongoDB generated IDs for every document which you store, and department number, dnames, whatever we created, marketing, technology, test 1 and test 2. That's what all the 5 departments which we have over here. So that's how you could either use a find one method which returns the first available record as per the storage criteria, or you could use a find method which returns all the records. You could technically use an array to put it into an array and then display those fields or not, and then you could use some kind of a logic you want to filter that out or not. So I hope, guys, this is how you could use these two methods. But in case if we want to use somewhat a little bit more like a query kind of a method, for example, I want to find out one particular collection or a document, not a collection, rather a document where the department number is 102. So how we could do that, that's the next thing we are going to discuss over here. The next thing what we are going to learn here is how to actually filter a particular document based upon certain conditions. Like I want a specific department number document, or I want a D number or department name with a specific naming. That's what we can do. So I'm going to copy this, the fifth one, the code. We are going to use this similar thing, and I'm going to name it as number 6. So where I could say query the documents based on a certain condition. So that's what I want to use, and it's almost the similar one but with just a couple of changes. So let's say I want to find out an object, let's say a query, where I'll say department number is, let's say 101. Now this is, let's say, or 103 probably. Okay, now if I want to find out a department number 103, so I set up a query where I set up a key value pair, and then within the find I'm going to actually pass that query. So I'm not going to pass that empty object, rather a query. Now fundamentally this would actually can return me one record or two records or multiple records. Of course, we know that the department numbers are not gonna be same. So it is gonna return me one, but I'm gonna put it into an array and then get that result in the same format. So if I say it's not a return all documents, rather query document with condition. So that's what I'm gonna use. I'll copy this and I'll paste it out here, which is fine, and then I'll try to run it. Now when you run this, let's say, so I'll just zoom in, and if I run this, okay, so you could see it actually gives me, first it gives me definitely in the form of an array because I'm putting it into an array, and then it just gives me the department number 103. You could actually change it to, let's say you want a department number, a department name, which is, let's say, technology. So if you want to do that way, so you could change that query also. So if you run it, so now you get that department number 101, but the department name is technology because that's the condition which we were trying to satisfy. And in case if you want, you could also use a regular expression out here. So let's say if you want our department name to start off with, let's say then a caret sign, and then I would say it starts with, let's say, T, and then I'll just put it that way. So this is how I'm gonna use a regular expression. So starts with the department name starting with the T character. So if I do that, and if I just try to run this, so it actually shows me all the records which are starting with T. Now if I, let's say, run this with small case, and then I try to run this, let's see. So If I do that, it means even in the regular expression, the T in small case and in uppercase, it is definitely gonna matter a lot. So whether you're using a uppercase or lowercase, or whether with the regular expression, definitely it matches the uppercase and lowercase. Now, if you try to run this, now you would again get back all the records which are starting with T as a department name. So I hope, guys, this is how you do the what you call as the reading within the CRUD operations using Node.js and MongoDB. This would help you to kind of read those records, display it on a web page or anywhere. You could find one record, multiple records, or a conditional records based upon your query condition. So I'll be coming back with more videos and complete this series, like where you could have an update as well as a delete operation. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll be coming up with some more videos on this. And if you want some videos on a specific topic or anything, please do let me know within the comments to that or to this video, or even you can send an email to my email address. Thank you and have a good one.